fuck? What is that noise, bro? Is that Easter eggs? What the fuck? What the shit? Oh my god, dog! Oh my god, you alright? Nah. Nah, it's bad. Let me see. I can't bend it.
What did you do?
I jumped off a roof in an Easter bunny costume.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Timestamps, description box. Timestamps, pinned comment section. You already know the deal. Unhinged wrestling fan tries to ruin Paul Heyman's life. The Nixon and Newell and the Miranda, I still haven't learned her last name. Walkout drama continues. Let's see what else. The top 10 PWI 250 women rankings have come out, and a lot of people are upset about who's number one. And Holland tries to explain away all the people who are accusing him of being a scammer. Is he going to convince anybody? Only one way to find out, and that's to either wait for me to get to that point or use the timestamps and skip around. Your call. I don't give a fuck. With that being said, let's get into the video right away, like as in right now. All right, let's do that. So apparently this fucking lunatic wrestling fan has been going around spreading misinformation. It's not even spreading misinformation. They legitimately just made up some shit. I don't know what the fuck this was all about. They just got bored and they just made up shit. And for some reason, initially, a lot of people, they just took them at their word. I don't know who this person is. I don't know where the fuck this came from. I don't understand why they targeted Paul Heyman. I mean, I kind of have a clue. And no, for the Zionists out there, it has nothing to do with him being the JEW. It's a little bit more insidious than that. But this person, they put out a tweet. They said, and I quote, "Sources in WWE have said that Paul Heyman refuses to work with Carmelo Hayes. Couldn't even look at him in the eyes during the meeting in creative, and Heyman pitched Logan Paul to be part of the vision instead. Man, this fat pig really is racist." They didn't source any of their claims. They couldn't corroborate anything. This doesn't even make any fucking sense. But people believed it and they attacked Paulie over it, bro. It's wild. The shit you can say online. People, most of the time, can't even tell you where it stemmed from. And then other people just run with it for so long that the original source that this even came from sometimes gets lost in the shuffle, and people just wholeheartedly believes it. They just wholeheartedly believe it. The only reason people started to now come to grips with fucking reality and recognize that, yeah, there's literally no evidence to this whatsoever, is that Carmelo Hayes came out and he had to debunk all this. He said, "I don't know what you were trying to accomplish with this bullshit post. This couldn't be further from the truth." Yeah, boss. I think most people probably figure that out. I mean, and mind you, by most people, I mean people who don't reside within the IWC and stay terminally fucking online looking for fucking problems. I think the majority of us kind of caught on to the fact that, yeah, this was obviously bullshit. But can we see some of the reactions from some of the people who are actually reacting to this? Some of them are going to be, I don't know. I was going to say get faith, but this is all so retarded that doesn't even matter. This one person said, "This loser deleted the post immediately after Melo commented." Well, yeah, because they lied, and because they were caught in the lie, and because it was so obviously a fucking lie. The next comment, "NBA Centel type posts do not work for wrestling because," and I quote, "the IWC has no sense of humor, so the jokes aren't funny, and also barely anyone gets that they're supposed to be jokes. These people are as gullible as Facebook users. They literally believe anything from any source." Bro, and you know what's so sad? You know, it's not even the fact that you can believe anything from any sources, because there are credible sources that typically get it wrong. Looking at you, Dave, to the point that they're no longer credible for the most part. But like, at least then it's like you're listening to someone who at the very least has some kind of authority, right? Even if you disagree with how horribly wrong they get it, they have some kind of fucking authority to just at least say the thing, right? Like, this shit right here is literally someone randomly saying shit, people running with it, and calling Heyman racist. Like, can you imagine if that shit got back to WWE? That's wild. That's wild. This other post says right here, look, check this out. This is another post. I can't believe people actually fell for this shit. Hang on for a second. Trying to open it up. This post says, I find myself logging on here less and less every day because of the sheer stupidity that I see on my timeline every single day. It's mind-boggling how some people can be so classless and ignorant, no self-awareness whatsoever. Yeah, that's the end. I'm not even gonna lie to you though. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what? Before I actually say that part, like, can I read you this fucking this actual fucking weirdo, this insane patient. They actually put out a tweet directly after this, right? They said, "God damn it, I got blocked by Mello. Fuck around and find out." I guess they should say fucked around and found out. And they said they still love him though. Yeah, this person's a goddamn psychopath. I don't know. This person is a psychopath. They're just a psychopath. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you though, because I'm looking at their birthday right now. They call themselves a journalist, right? They have a Mexican flag, I guess, in their profile. With, I guess they're obsessed with Julia Utami Hayashida and Tatum Paxley. They're obsessed with them, clearly. This person is just a shit poster. Yeah, this person is just, they're just shit posting. Which I can always appreciate a good shit post here and there. And quite frankly, this was so deliberately fucking retarded that, like, I'm almost on the brink of saying good game. Devontae, you can't be saying, you know, I don't know what to tell you, folks, when I see a good troll, no matter who the subject happens to be. I tip my fedora and I say GG. I wish it was me. I wish it was me. I want to troll people like that also. The only thing is, I'm a little bit too blatant, and I figure people can figure whether or not I'm being sarcastic. And damn, I don't know. I don't know if I have it in me to shitpost like that. I feel like I'm going to come back, circle around to this topic around April Fool's Day, and I'm going to try my hand at shitposting. I need to make up a horrible rumor about somebody, and I need to spread it maliciously in hopes that no one actually picks up on it. They get very triggered at whoever that person happens to be. I have to find a target that I have, like, absolutely no respect for. Like, someone who I fucking hate with all of my heart. And it can't be someone who's just like, you know, someone who's attached to a situation and, like, people typically treat them like a fucking lolcow or anything like that. No, I feel like it has to be someone who is somewhat actually loved for the most part. That way, whatever's actually said could be just that much more detrimental. I'm going to circle around back to that. But you know what? God damn it. Good game. This person is absolutely mentally fucking ill. And, you know, this is some, I don't know, like some Daniel Larson type shit I'm seeing right here. And you know what? Good game. Good game. If you want to troll a bunch of retards to go out of their way to want to ruin Paul Heyman's life to the degree where they're pretty much almost successful as far as getting this out there, and it took a wrestler to come out of their way to go out of their way to essentially disprove all this, you know what? GG. Wish it was me. I have nothing else to say. GG, and I wish it was me. The Nixon, Newell, and Miranda Alize, or Alize, again, we're going to just call her Miranda, not taking the time. I didn't take the time before, and I'm still not going to take the time to try to learn the pronunciation of that fucking name. Drama continues. Now Goldust is going to speak on about it, along with Bryan Danielson, and we got Newell denying all of it, Alize contradicting it, some retard independent wrestler going out of her way to side with Alize, Miranda, and Newell, Nixon. It's so much going on right now, but let's kick it off with Goldust giving them a piece of his mind. And I quote, "When you get an opportunity to perform on television, you say yes." We'll get to him in a little bit as well. "You do exactly what the company wants with a great attitude. Otherwise, good luck in your future endeavors." Well, I mean, as long as it's like not ridiculous, if it's within the means of whatever job you're working, then yeah, obviously that should kind of like just come with the territory. You know, you see so many of these young people nowadays, like, you know, with the quiet quitting and, you know, like, I'm going to do the bare minimum, but I'm expecting all the things that, you know, all my great grandfathers and their dads and everybody got there, you know, like, it's all like the equity issue, right? Like, yeah, I agree that I kind of wish we had the same things that like the boomers had access to, or even Generation X, like all the advantages that they had access to as far as being able to make a good living, to support a family on a single income. Yeah, of course, I wish we had those advantages as well. But those advantages that I wish we had has nothing to do with your personal work ethic, because you still have to do the job in order to make a living, right? You can hate the job, you can hate not having the same opportunities or the same advantages or even the same prizes or, you know, any of those things that your ancestors had or whatever, or I guess, you know, earlier people within your generation, but you still live in today. You still have to be able to make whatever. You gotta make chicken. Look, I know it sucks, but you gotta make chicken shit out of chicken salad, right? It just is what it is, man. I know it sucks to hear, but either that or what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? Cry, bitch, moan, groan? I don't know. I see things like that and it's like, it is what it is. But it gets a little bit more thicker, right? The Newell and Miranda and AEW plot continues to thicken as Bryan Danielson reportedly approached the couple following their controversial collision walkout. And I quote, according to Fightful Select, several AEW figures reached out to Nixon and Miranda following the couple's November 9th Twitch livestream, with former WWE talent Bryan Danielson reported to have spoken to the couple at an undisclosed point in time. The report claims that Danielson was, and I quote, disappointed with the walkout and subsequent match change. Newell and Miranda's behavior seems to have rubbed the locker room the wrong way, as well as several members of AEW and ROH's female roster expressed their disappointment with the couple, stating that they would have loved for even 3 minutes on Collision, in reference to Nixon and Miranda's reported issues with their scheduled 3-minute match against TJ. Well, no, that's not the case. It's the dirt sheet writers. Don't you guys know? It's the dirt sheet writers that are spreading this misinformation, if you will, right? It's the dirt sheet writers like Taya Valkyrie, right? It's Turbo Floyd, right? What's the guy name again? Magnus, whatever the fuck what's the stupid ass tag team partner name? Those guys, whatever. Fuck them both, alright? No, but it's them, right? Truth Magnum, that's his name. No, it's Goldust. Goldust is also a dirt sheet writer. No, it's Bryan Danielson. He is a dirt sheet writer. No, it's the females in the ROH AEW locker room who are all dirt sheet writers. But of course, they still have to deny it, right? Keep trying it and keep denying it. Update, and this is coming from Sean Ross Sapp. Nixon Newell reached out to Fightful and claimed that neither she nor Miranda have ever met Bryan Danielson. She was adamant that she was respectful and there was never a bad word said about AEW from Nixon and Miranda. Well, see, now you're kind of shifting the goalpost. No one ever said that you said bad words about AEW. We are saying that you were having conflicts with the authority figures there and you acted like pouty little bitches and walked out when you didn't get your way. Why are you shifting the goalpost to things that people aren't saying? Could it be because you're bad faith and you're a fucking liar and your girlfriend's a fucking liar as well? Yeah, I think that happens to be the case, So why should I take your word, right? Never mind the locker room. Never mind the fact that Bryan Danielson is just the ghost, right? He himself sees himself, and what he sees within himself is him not actually confronting anyone. I guess that's just made up too. It's almost as if when things keep coming your way, it seems like you guys just say that it's not true, and apparently we're just supposed to believe you, even though you already lied previously, saying that this thing wasn't true, even though you're deflecting every single thing, even though you say you have receipts, but you're not going to show receipts. But of course, this is also not true, right? Of course, it's just the dirt sheet writers, right? Of course, ignore everybody that's fucking around you that's saying that you're doing the thing that you're clearly fucking doing, but apparently you're saying that you're not doing and therefore it's not happening. But it gets better because Miranda, she ends up posting this, and I quote, check this out. The moment you start standing up for yourself, oh boy, it's like the fucking victim playbook, I swear to God. The moment you start standing up for yourself, everything shifts. Suddenly, you're the problem. Not because you've changed, but because you're no longer letting them take advantage of you. They'll paint you as the villain, but that's okay because you're finally choosing yourself. This is where your freedom begins. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Miranda. Do you guys have the receipts? You say you have the receipts. You can debunk all of this right now. Okay, you can debunk all this right here, right now, right here, right now. I'm like Fatboy Slim. Right here, right now. All of it debunked right here, right now. If you show the fucking... Oh, that's right. Conveniently, you're not going to show any of the receipts. So therefore, all we have to go off of is key witnesses. Who are there? Who watched you guys do the thing that you claim you didn't do that you're not going to show receipts for? No one is choosing to make you a villain. You're choosing yourself to make yourself the villain. You are defaulting the position of being the villain because you refuse to make yourself a hero. But of course, all the feminist independent women have to stick together. So of course, some fucking benchy just comes out of the left field. Her name is Mandy Leon. Wait, no. Is it the same Mandy Leon? Am I tripping? There's no way. Is that? Hold up. Am I tripping? No, okay. So this is just, okay, I thought at first this was fucking, Mandy Rose. Because does she have like a fucking Italian husband or some shit? No, this is just actually some fucking benchy coming out of nowhere. Some of the same girls ganging up on them are on here are the same girls that have absolutely 100% complained about their times, opponents, stories, etc. too. It's gross. Stop. Not your monkey, not your circus. However it was handled, focus on yourself. Ick. So, anyone wants to tell her that she just kind of, randomly jumped in here and that she can also take her own advice? So you get to jump in and say whatever you want, and you get to handle it however you want to handle your situation. It has nothing to do with this situation by inserting yourself in it, but everybody else who are inserting themselves within this conversation, they need to handle and focus on themselves. Rules for thee and not for me. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Who are you? You! Damn! Who are you, bro? Who are you? Who are you? It feels like, look, it almost seems like it's a projection. So obviously, I don't see a lot of women kind of sticking their nose out inside this whole little ordeal. The only women who I've seen talked about this was Taya Valkyrie. That's it. That's the only person. And guess what? I ain't hearing those stories of Taya walking out when she wasn't getting what she didn't want. Because that's kind of the thing right here. You understand, Mrs. Mendy, or whatever the fuck your name is? Pretty sure a lot of people have complained about their times and opponents and stories as well. That's not the argument, silly Billy. The argument is, did any of them complain about their times, opponents, and stories, and then walk out of the fucking building when they weren't given what they wanted? Because that's kind of the conversation that's going on right now. You want to keep up with us? I know, you know, within that little headspace of yours, that little OF brain of yours, that it only has one focus and one focus only, and that's how many times can you rotate your ass cheeks on someone's penis in order to get them the nut. I get that, right? I get that, right? But in the real world, when we're having conversations and dialogue, we kind of want to focus on the critiques that are, you know, being formed and, you know, framed in real time. Not picking and choosing what we want to focus on while inherently eliminating all the actual, you know, legitimate consequences that people are actually talking about. But it's fine, that's okay. We've been focusing on way too many OF independent stars. Let's see some of the fans react to this situation that's currently ongoing. And I quote, "Give the women a chance." Nixon, Newell, and Miranda Alize, or at least still not figuring out her last name, walk after being booked for a 3-minute match that would have even been considered laughable in 2014 WWE. Not those women. Boo! Alright, let's see another reaction. Let's see. Miranda was trained by Alize. Oh, gotcha. That makes all the sense in the world. So the shitty attitude makes sense. I like the conspiracies that Tony Khan pays indie wrestlers to defend the company. The stand-up for WWE Brigade has 0 legs to stand on. LOL. Hashtag AEW. Hashtag ROH. Can you guys just, like, take the W? Like, that's the craziest thing. Like, you're flipping the W and you're trying to make it an L. Stop doing that, okay? You're doing a good job. Take the fucking W. Easiest thing in the goddamn world. But that does make a lot of sense. Alize is that chick that was having problems with Thunder Rosa. Like, that's the one that kept sandbagging her a couple of years ago. So, and I think that's the one that ended up sleeping with Mia Yim, her boyfriend, the one that was abusing her. Alize, they got caught sleeping together. I got a whole video out on that. Would I link it? You can look for it yourselves. If you want it, I'll give you the link or whatever personal. I'm trying to focus on this news coverage. But Alize is the chick that sandbagged Thunder Rosa and ended up being a homewrecker for Mia Yim and her abusive boyfriend. So it makes all the sense in the world that, you know, Miranda kind of has this entitled behavior and entitled attitude. And one more comment for the road, if you boys don't mind. This one shares, instead of subtweeting and trashing Nixon, Newell, and Miranda Alize/Alize, you should be calling for longer matches for women in AEW. It's such a poorly booked division, and they deserve so much more. God forbid they tried to get a match that made sense. Are we watching the same show? Are we not watching the women consistently on television? The problem is, their creative fucking sucks. That I agree with. The problem is, they'll be here one week and they're gone the next week as far as not being booked on television. I agree with that. But as far as the presentation of the women being given time on television to have longer matches, bro, it's rare to see any match go shorter than fucking 2 minutes. Where are you getting this from? Where is this coming from? Are you fucking retarded? Huh? Are you pussy? I think you're pussy retarded. Okay? It's a horrible disease where your mind is too stuck on pussy and it makes you retarded. You gotta stop it, bro, because you're delusional as fuck right now. But we're gonna keep following the situation as it gets a little bit deeper. I'm not bored covering this story yet, so we'll keep continuing it. And speaking of continuing, let's get to the next topic, shall we? We shall. Because apparently AEW women, they get no time. They get no respect. Ho ho, that's about to change in a minute. PWI just put out their annual top 250 best women of the year list. I'm almost certain that no one's gonna get upset about the list. Of course you're gonna get upset about the list. All this shit is subjective and no one's gonna be 100% a-okay with whatever they see on their screen. So I'm actually gonna do it like this. I'm gonna surprise myself because I'm actually recording this portion first, but you're gonna hear it third in regards to the events, and then I'm gonna do the intro afterwards so I kind of don't ruin the surprise for myself. And I'm actually gonna block my hand here, gonna hit on the actual post from WrestleOps, gonna move my hand up past the photo. Good, I'm on number 10. Good, blocked it all off. Okay, so number 10 is Rhea Ripley. All right, number 9 is Naomi. Okay, number 8 is Sari, Sami, Origami. Number 7 is Athena, the former Ember Moon. Number 6 is Io Sky. Number 5 is Stephanie Vakir. Number 4 is Tiffany Stratton. Number 3 is Saya Kamatani. Hey, was that wrestler that weirdo dude was obsessed with earlier on in the video? Or am I just being racist again? It could go either way. Number 2 is Toni Storm. Oh boy, this is gonna get a lot of boys in there. It's gonna get a lot of people pissed off. Number one is
number 1. And I don't give a fuck.
Like God, keep it a stack. Bitches move out cause they know I got bands.
Well, they all can't be winners and choosers, right? She's so fucking cringe. I'm dying from the cringe. Nope, Devontae. No. Objective. Now, I look at this list and I say to myself, does this make sense? Put my bias to the side, which actually I don't really have a bias because I don't give a fuck about women's wrestling today. So I actually am going in this like naturally impartial. Because or is it partial? Let's just say non-biased. Let's say that. Non-partisan? I think non-partisan is the right way to say it. Because, yeah, I don't give a fuck about women's wrestling. Objectively, Rhea Ripley, she hasn't really done that much this year. At least compared to last year. Naomi, she only got hot over the summertime. Sadi, don't know who the fuck she is. Athena, killer run so far, but it's on ROH. So, you know, the old adage, if a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound. Io Sky, she's had some strong matches, but as far as her championship reigns, creative has completely fucked that girl. Maybe she's doing a little bit better now, but I think people forget she was rarely defending her championship around the spring or summertime earlier this year. You know, that I can see that being the problem. Stephanie Vakir, again, she just got hot over the summertime. I mean, overall, you can probably, you know, account for NXT stuff, but, you know, again, old adage, you know, if a tree falls in the forest. Tiffany Stratton, there's an argument that could be made, but even then, you know, comparing it to Mercedes and Toni, I could see. Saya, I don't know who the fuck that is. Toni Storm being number 2. There's an argument that could be made that she's number 1, but I guess, and again, I take my bias out of it. People like Mercedes Moné matches. I don't give a fuck, but everybody else does. And they'll probably argue and say that Mercedes had a better catalog of matches than Toni. You know? So I guess from an objective lens, I don't watch Joshi wrestling. And if no one's really making any buzz in Joshi wrestling, for me to be such a casual viewer, I guess means they're not really necessarily doing their job right? As far as getting discovered at the very least. I mean, if I have to broaden my horizons, understandable, but like, if they're not making a splash on the independent scene enough for me to actually see, well, I mean, again, tree, forest, falling, who's hearing it? Yeah, I guess, objectively, I can see why they would choose Mercedes as number 1. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a rough list, though, holy shit. I don't think it has more to do with Mercedes being number 1 as much as it is everybody else on the list being so dog shit. And I'm not saying they're dog shit as far as their wrestling abilities. I'm just saying dog shit as far as me not giving a fuck. But hey, you guys can have that discourse amongst each other. I outside of just giving commentary for it, I couldn't give a fuck, not the slightest fuck about any of this. But have the discourse amongst each other in the comment section, I guess.
Wow, it looks like somebody died. Holy shit, Jesus! That's right.
The brutal honest truth is, when I renegotiated my deal last year, I renegotiated for a 1-year deal to bet on myself, right? And in that negotiation, it was a 58% pay cut, right? I would challenge anyone to go from one day earning a certain amount of money to then taking a 58% pay cut for 12 months. That's going to put you, as you mentioned, hold someone's toes to the fire, right? So the year goes on. Year didn't go as planned as I wanted. Went to TNA, got hurt. A week after surgery, I got told with 4 weeks' notice that my contract wasn't going to be renewed. So in 4 weeks, my money stops. I have no financial income, and I can't work for 7 months. I cannot earn a living. Plus the fact that I may have to have a neck fusion on top of the foot as well. So that's where we're at with the injury there. And then what happened was they ended up terminating me because I had some bad news about the house being put in foreclosure, kind of proceedings being put on the house. So I had some bad news that day. So I went on Twitter, foolish of me, but I was full of emotion and I vented. And I said some things that I shouldn't have, and the company viewed that as breach. So they fired me on the spot.
Right. So what I heard here was I injured myself on the job due to my own incompetence. Happens to the best of us. I've hurt myself at my workplace before. I've hurt myself I've hurt myself at school before. I've hurt myself because at that split moment in time, I wasn't paying attention. We've all been there. We've all currently probably did it today, for all you know, right? Maybe you thought you were pouring milk inside of the cereal bowl, but unfortunately, the bowl was a little bit too far away and you hit the table. Shit happens. You stubbed your toe on your bed. Shit happens. But it was you who did the thing, right? Now, granted, WWE, as per agreement, has to pay for your bills if you're hurt on the job, like any other job. They did their parts. They did their parts. It was up to you to do your parts, which was downsize. You say you had a foreclosure on your house. Buddy, get an apartment. Get an apartment. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, you might even have a hard time struggling to find a house or an apartment that might even have rent that's even significantly close to the mortgage that you were paying at that time. But at least there are options. There are options. You choosing not wanting to downsize or not wanting to downgrade to meet whatever criteria at that point in time that you can monetarily use to your advantage, that's on you, bro. That's not anybody else's fault. Like, again, he's going through the same struggles as any average American. Welcome to the fucking real world, buddy, where, yeah, we get fired from our jobs and we have to ration. We have to downsize. Some things are going to have to be risked. Some things are you're gonna have to do without. Again, welcome to the average life of an American. Welcome to the average life of anybody. Like, I'm not trying to accuse him of this necessarily, because I don't think he recognizes how he sounds right now, bro. Like, when you say shit like that, you sound hella elitist. Oh, man, I had a good life. This was my life. And now, folks, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because, well, I didn't make good financial decisions. And, you know, I could have easily downsized, put my money up. But instead, I ran myself into debt, kept my situation exactly how it was, and kept running myself into debt. Brother, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Get an apartment. Get on food stamps. You can. You can. Especially being an independent contractor, having to prove your income. You can work around that. Trust me. There are ways to work around that. I'm not going to say it on YouTube for legal reasons, but you can. You absolutely can work around it. You're just not applying yourself, bruh. You're not. You can't sit in the same situation and then expect to get the same results as to what you were getting previously when your situation and circumstances was completely different. That's why everybody's saying that you're running a scam right now, because how do we know you're not going to use that money to get yourself back out of foreclosure? How do we know you're not going to use that money to still continue the lifestyle that you're currently living right now? How do we know any of that's going to be the case? We have no proof. No proof whatsoever. But, hey, I will read this portion because I feel it's very important to give a little bit more context as to why everybody is angry currently with him at the moment, right? So, and I quote, this is coming directly from this dude, right? I am not donating the GoFundMe money. Once I am earning money and in a position to donate, I will donate to charity. This will be the money I earn, not the GoFundMe money. I am not a scammer. Now, this was stemming off the fact that apparently, and I quote, the GoFundMe fundraiser was originally launched to support Holland during his recovery from a severe neck injury. At the time, Holland stated that the GoFundMe had been created without his knowledge or consent. In an early statement, he thanked fans, which by the way is true. Someone did create it on his behalf. I will say that. They confirmed it themselves. In an early statement, he thanked fans for their support, but said he would shut it down, return the money, and donate it to charity once he recouped the donations. Later the same day, Holland reversed course and issued a follow-up on social media. He clarified he would not be donating the GoFundMe money to charity and instead planned to use it for his recovery. Which, that could probably just be a misunderstanding from fans, but man, all I'm saying is you gotta be careful with how you go about saying shit. People are really sensitive to this kind of shit, which is why, again, I'm not gonna put everything on Rich Holland. I'm not even gonna say he's a scammer. I don't have any evidence of that. But for the people who are actually donating to him, if you're this retarded that you can't decipher what he's actually saying, or more importantly, if you're not even gonna read the fine print of what he's actually saying, whether it's bad or whether it's good, it's on you in the end of the day too. It's on you in the end of the day too. Easy for me to say. Like, you're donating money to him. You're willingly giving up your money for someone that you don't know or don't even care to at least look at their circumstance to say whether or not they're worth it. You're doing it because you want to feel like a good person. If that's the way you want to go about it, if you want to legitimately essentially spend money on people giving you pats on the fucking back, then expect to be this cautious about how your money is being spent. It's so fucking dumb. All this is so dumb. Oh no, an adult who has to go through adult things and make sacrifices for his family. Again, welcome to fucking America. Especially nowadays with prices being so high and the market being so fucking unstable. Welcome to American life circa 2025 or post-COVID. We'll fill you in on how the fuck you're supposed to live life knowing that shit like this is gonna happen. What, like, it's so dumb. Give me your GoFundMe then. How about that? I'm in the same situation as you. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Americans in the same situation as you. Give me your GoFundMe money. Oh, you won't do that? Because you're struggling? And because we're struggling and therefore you're struggling worse than us? Huh. We can have a competition for that if you want to. We'll call it the Victim Olympics. That was probably taken already. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as to how you feel about today's video. How do you feel about, again, this whole Rich Holland situation? Just, again, it's not a scam. Again, it just doesn't sit well with me knowing that people have to go through the same struggles in life as he does, yet he's going to reward it for it, because apparently his life is in so much shambles that it's worse than you or me. Fuck off, dude. Real talk, fuck off. How do you feel about Mercedes Moné being the #1 of the PWI 250? How do you feel about the current situation still ongoing with Tegan Knox, Nixon and Newell, and Miranda Chardonnay? Let me know how you feel about that. And how do you feel about the psychopath who went out of their way to try to ruin Paul Heyman's life randomly? thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Schmark, and I'll be back later on tomorrow for the Dynamite review. Unless something pops up in the news, then I'll talk about that. Otherwise, kind of want to keep everything open for when I have to read. Watch. What did I say read for? I'm retarded right now. Watch both of those blood and guts matches, because the only thing that's going to be seen within blood and guts is me puking it out as I'm watching the match. So be back here tomorrow for Dynamite and everything in regards to the Dynamite review, and suffer along with me. But with that being said, as always, I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces and P. Ice.